It's been a couple weeks since your last win, your last bonus check, man.
Yeah.
It's been a good stretch for you, man. How is life for you right now?
It's good, man. I'm happy to be home. We already had planned to come out to Denver and watch the event, so it was cool to come out and hang out with the fans. Man, it's just been nice to be home and not have anything on my mind, you know what I mean, and just hang out with my kids and Michaela. It's been a lot of fun.
Very cool. Talk about the fight now. You can reflect on it a little bit. I mean, it was a test for you for sure, man. What do you feel about your performance? How do you think you did that night?
Man, I'm proud of myself because it was a tough fight, but I made it a whole lot tougher on myself. You know what I mean? I tell people that there was an easier path to victory with a much lower success rate. You know what I mean? Like, there's an easier way I could have done it, but the chances of me winning that way were probably low. The route that I took was definitely the hardest route you could possibly take, but if you can do it, it's definitely the highest percentage.
What was the alternate plan?
Just try to skate around on the outside and pick him apart. But he's, man, I kind of owe Volkan an apology, to be honest with you. I wasn't prepared to get into a mental, tactical battle with Volkan. I just wasn't. From watching his tape, the little bit that he does have out there, it's really hard to see that Volkan is technically and like tactically a great fighter. It's just not. Like, I was ready for a physical, just drawn out, hard, tough dude, I mean, that's the fight that I was prepared for. And look at that. He's out. Look at that. My man Devontae.
Quick.
My bad. Sorry. I was prepared for him to be super tough. I hadn't thought about in my head like to get into some chess match with him. And he's good, man. I was throwing stuff at him. He was giving me different looks. And it was real small, It was stuff that's hard to pick up on film. So I don't know if that's my own arrogance that got in my way. And who the hell am I to think that the number 2 dude in the world isn't going to be ready for a chess match, But I just wasn't. So I kind of had to level up mid-fight. And I think that was probably what people were seeing kind of at the beginning. I was kind of taken back a little bit, like, damn, like this guy isn't just good and just powerful. Volkan Ozdemir is he's good. He really is.
I know you made a case for yourself for the title shot afterwards. Are you going to be cage side for John Jones and Alex? Is that the plan?
I am.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'll be there, man. I want to see it. Number one, what an awesome card. You know what I mean? It's cool to come to these events and be able to be so close to everyone. I've never been to a UFC fight, man. The atmosphere at fights are incredible. But I want to be there. You know what I mean? I want to be there. I'm excited for it, and I think it's my turn. I really do.
Are there other options on the table? I mean, I know you said you wanted a little time off anyway, but are there other fights you're looking at, backup plans, or are you kind of all in on you getting the winner of that fight?
I haven't even thought about another opponent. Jim has been talking with the UFC, and as far as I know, no one's been offered yet, but I think the UFC is aware that I want to take a break, so I think that they're letting me do that, and that Jones fight's it's coming up quick, so it's not like we have to wait a long time. I signed the Ozdemir contract 7 days after I fought Shogun, so I think that they're just letting me take a break for a little bit.
I mean, if you are the winner, would you be ready for that? I mean, you got to think the winner of that fight would want to fight maybe summertime or something like that, or
in a perfect world, I would challenge for the title International Fight Week in July. I think that gives me time to chill out and do my thing, and just to skill build. When you're in training camp, you don't really have a lot of time to really close holes or whatever. You really kind of figure out the game plan, drill it, and you're not picking up a whole bunch of skills on the way. So I've been in a training camp essentially since March or April, so it's not like I've picked up a bunch during the way. So it's been cool to get these 3 quick wins, but at the same time, I kind of sacrificed not being able to skill build in between those.
What did you make of John Jones' comments on you at the press conference saying you might not be ready for it?
Man, people have been saying that shit about me forever. Like, I wasn't ready for Ozdemir. I wasn't ready for Shogun. Like, I don't know when people, like I keep saying, when are people going to maybe I'm just good. Like that might, I don't know when people might entertain that, but I might just be good. I think that John is in a weird place right now. I've won 3 fights in 5 months. John Jones has won 3 fights in 5 years. Like, what more do I need to do? You know what I mean? I'm busting my ass. I'm in great, entertaining fights. They're 3 finishes. A part of me is like, what are you even talking about? Like, you don't even really fight. as of right until just now, John Jones wasn't even eligible. So, like, I think that he's just being a smartass. I think that some of the things I say bother him because I think that it's true. I'm not one of these guys trying to build any animosity with John. I don't give a shit about John Jones. It's about the title to me. But likely he's going to be the one that has it, I would guess. So he's the one that people ask the questions about. So I think that, the things that bother John is when people ask me, do I think he cheats? Yeah, I do. It's a failed drug test. How can you argue that? He's been suspended twice for PED use. Like, I'm not the only one talking about John Jones. So it's like, I don't know what his deal is, but I honestly don't give a shit.
And when he pushed Gustafsson, he said he kind of did that because Gustafsson doesn't build up fights, and he wants people to watch this fight. Are you prepared to, like, just, I don't know, want to say talk yourself into a fight, but if you keep putting it out there, you might just get the call? Or do you think you've just done enough, period?
I think I've done enough, period, but I don't have any problem speaking the truth. You know, like I say all the time, I'm not out here to start shit with anybody, and I don't have a problem with John Jones. I don't know John Jones, but I can only speak to what we all know. Like, and I've never talked about him personally. You know what I mean? And that's the route that people go a lot with John. Is they want to talk about his personal life and all the trouble he's been in. I don't give a shit about that either. Like, I just want to fight him, and I think he cheats. Like, that's it. And I think that no one else in the division other than me and Gus right now are legitimate threats to John Jones. So if he gets through Gus, who else are, like, you match a fight with me, who else are you guys going to worry that could take John Jones out? Is anybody worried about Latifi or Blachowicz? Or nobody's thinking like, oh, you know, Jan might beat him. We all know that's bullshit. I'm the only one that has legit finishing abilities against John Jones. I'm the only one physically that can match up with him.
And not off the John Jones topic, Israel Adesanya kind of made a case that he's the breakthrough fight of the year. In 2018, you seem to be the other one. Do you want to make your case for the breakthrough?
You know, I'm a big Israel fan. You know, I think that he had a great year. Honestly, man, I think he's hilarious. I like to listen to his interviews. I don't even know what the categories are. I think that Israel's had a pretty cool rise. You know, it's not like he's not killing world beaters here or anything, or former champions, but I think he's had a great, phenomenal year. I think Daniel Cormier's had a great year, obviously. But I think that what I've been able to do from February until now is probably been unmatched, maybe ever. You know what I mean? Has anyone had that quick of a turnaround from a loss to possibly #1 contender? It's wild.
I can't think of that.
I know you want to take some time off, and you definitely deserve it. But what if an injury happened to Jones or Gustafsson? Would you be able to step in?
It sounds like there's already another 205 fight on that card, and I'd have to start camp like right now. So the UFC hasn't said anything to me personally. I'm sure that, you know, Jim and them are talking back and forth, but I think that I don't think it's an accident that there's already another 205 fight on there with two guys that are already pretty highly ranked.